At my father's funeral, my uncle grabbed my shoulder and whispered, "Your dad didn't die of a heart attack. Someone in this room knows exactly what happened." I turned to look at him, expecting some kind of grief-induced breakdown, but Uncle Ray's eyes were sharp and focused, scanning the crowd of mourners like a detective studying suspects. My father had collapsed in his kitchen 3 weeks ago. The paramedics said cardiac arrest. The doctors confirmed it. We buried him, believing his heart simply gave out at 58 years old. But Uncle Ray pulled me toward the back of the funeral home and pressed a manila folder into my hands. Inside were lab results, phone records, and photographs I didn't understand. "Your father called me the night before he died," Ray said quietly. "He told me he'd discovered something about his business partner, and he was scared. I thought he was being paranoid. Now I think he was being poisoned." My stomach dropped. Dad's business partner was standing 20 feet away, dabbing his eyes with a handkerchief, playing the role of grieving friend perfectly. His name was Leonard Vance, and he'd been my father's partner for 15 years. Ray had spent the past 3 weeks doing what the police wouldn't. He'd requested copies of the toxicology report that showed traces of antifreeze metabolites in my father's blood. He'd pulled phone records showing Leonard had called my father's doctor twice in the month before he died, asking about his heart medication and dosages. He'd found a $2 million life insurance policy on my father that Leonard had secretly taken out through their business 8 months ago. The pieces came together like a nightmare puzzle. Leonard had been slowly poisoning my dad for weeks, adding antifreeze to his coffee at the office. The symptoms would mimic heart problems, especially in a man who already took blood pressure medication. By the time my father collapsed, the damage was done. The coroner ruled it cardiac arrest because nobody thought to look deeper. Nobody except Uncle Ray, who knew his brother better than anyone, and refused to accept that a man who jogged every morning and ate clean would suddenly drop dead. I wanted to call the police immediately, but Ray stopped me. He said the evidence was circumstantial, and Leonard had connections at City Hall. If we went to the authorities now, Leonard would lawyer up and walk free. We needed a confession, and we needed witnesses, so we did something insane. At the reception after the funeral, Ray stood up and clinked his glass for attention. 50 people went quiet, expecting a toast. Instead, Ray pulled out the folder. "Before we finish honoring my brother," he announced, "I need to share something. David didn't die of a heart attack. He was murdered, and the person responsible is in this room." The gasps were immediate. My mother grabbed my arm, confused and frightened, but I watched Leonard's face and I saw it, just for a second, a flicker of panic before he composed himself into shocked disbelief. Ray laid out everything methodically: the toxicology report, the phone records, the insurance policy. He explained how antifreeze poisoning mimics cardiac symptoms, how the sweet taste is easily masked in coffee. With each revelation, Leonard's composure cracked a little more. Finally, Leonard stood up and tried to laugh it off. "This is insane," he said. "David was my best friend. I loved him like a brother." "Then explain the insurance policy," Ray said calmly. "Explain why you called his doctor asking about his medication. Explain why his toxicology shows ethylene glycol in his system." Leonard's wife was staring at him now, her face pale. His hands were shaking. I watched him calculate his options in real time, trying to figure out if he could talk his way out of this. The room was dead silent. 50 people waiting for an answer that would either condemn him or clear him. He broke, not dramatically, but quietly. He sank back into his chair and covered his face with his hands. "We were going bankrupt," he whispered. "The business was failing, and I'd already lost everything trying to save it. David wanted to dissolve the partnership, and I would have been left with nothing. The insurance was supposed to save my family." My mother let out a sound I'll never forget, this guttural sob of disbelief. She'd hugged Leonard when he arrived. She'd thanked him for the flowers he sent. He'd sat in the front row during the service and cried what we all thought were genuine tears. Someone had already called 911. 2 officers arrived within minutes. Leonard didn't resist when they handcuffed him. He just kept repeating that he was sorry, that he never meant for it to happen this way, as if poisoning someone for months could ever be accidental. His wife left him before the trial even started. Leonard is serving 25 years for first-degree murder. My mother got the insurance payout after a lengthy legal battle. Uncle Ray passed away last year, but he lived long enough to see justice served for his little brother.